What's poppin', gamers? It's me, a Captain Particle. It's been, it's been a bit. You know, I would have streamed a little sooner, but I got like emotionally devastated by two different things happening back to back. I'll explain it a little bit more later. Accidentally, oops, I forgot to set up my VTuber model. My bad. You're gonna be sitting on this starting screen a little bit longer than I expected. Give me a second. So today we'll be modeling a friend of mine. I was like, oh, I'll get around to it. I'm like, oh, I never got around to it, You finally got around to it now. Might as well stream it while I'm doing this, because, might as well, like, have some time, talk about whatever's, I guess. Alright. Okay, it's set up. My bad. That was my bad. I was planning on playing some games with my friend, but, he got a little busy, so... Oh, wait, no, he didn't get busy. He got sick. So, it'd be like that sometimes, right? Can't exactly control how, you eat food, you get sick. Can't exactly control that, Yeah, how are you guys doing? I probably shouldn't be streaming. I accidentally, I don't know, haven't accidentally, drank a little bit too much. My bad. But anyways, we'll be working on this character. This is someone who's like, oh, it's part of one of my friends is like, character designs. I don't want this song. That we'll be like going through. It's like, oh, he'll show up eventually. Oh, whoops, my bad. He'll show up eventually, right? So, it'd be like that sometimes. Oh, wait, you don't get it. I I don't know if you guys understand, so, getting hit with like a crap ton of like emotional pains. Like, oh, you just kind of. I know in my heart that like, oh, time is like the best way to like really let go of this type of stuff, but it still hurts. So, it's kind of hard to let go of some things. It'd be like that sometimes, you know? So yeah, how's everyone doing today? I'm doing kind of weird. As you can tell, my attitude's a bit different because I've kind of vastly overestimated how much, like, how resistant I am to, like, to alcohol on an empty stomach. Like, I understand my limit with, like, a full stomach. Well, not really full stomach, with just food in my stomach. But I didn't realize just, like, how vulnerable I was with an empty stomach. Oh. Yeah, I accidentally told my friends, like, oh, at least, like, oh, friends I made online. It's like, oh, might have revealed too much. But it's like, oh, being a bit emotionally vulnerable kind of sucks. I kind of feel like that one guy, there was this anime, it was like, quintessential quintuplets. Where it's like, there's this scene where he gets like emotionally vulnerable for like a second. And it's like, I lied. It's like, I will never love again. Like, yeah, that's me right now. So, it hurts, but I already know I've been hit with this more than once before. I know the pain will subside, but the emotional pain will subside. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt right now. Anyways, how are you guys doing? I'm doing eh. I'll talk about it a bit later. I do wonder how things are with the other people though. Guess I could just mention it. Like, I was basically just hit with like 2 people back to back. I mean, one of them I kind of did because I cared about them enough to say like, oh, I should probably explain how I felt during a situation from the past that maybe they would have wanted more context, considering I've lost sleep a lot over this situation, and it turned out that they didn't care as much as I did, you know. So that's pretty unfortunate. So I gave them my heart, they threw it out. It happens. And with a different person, it was like, oh, I'm a little disappointed the way you acknowledged me as just like effectively a stranger. And then they told me, it's like, oh, we are strangers. I'm like, well, shit. Okay. Damn. I wasn't ready for that one. That one I wasn't ready for. The other one, it was a few years in the making. So I kind of knew, like, in my heart that I knew that was kind of their answer anyways. I just wanted, like, because I cared about them enough to actually even, like, write down, like, oh, this is how I felt during that situation. That maybe they need the same closure that I did. They did not. They were completely okay with me not doing that, which means I didn't mean enough to them for that to work. So that kind of sucked. But other than that, I've been relatively chilling, you know. I've been testing out this resin I got. I got this ABS resin. It's a resin. It's called like ABS like, so it's supposed to be like, you know, relatively as strong as ABS. Oh, actually, I gotta explain this. So I'm making a 3D model of my friend who goes in as like, they have like how do I explain? You know, this is my, like, one of my personal friends. Like, oh, I actually, like, know them in real life. And one of the characters we based off of them was this. So my friend did the initial sketch, while this version is, like, my secondary, like, oh, this is how I would draw them. Which, you know, it's basically the exact same, but... But, you know, I still kind of need to, like, use my friend's drawing of them as a reference. Like, the only reason why I'm doing them now is, I mean, I don't really have anything better to do. Emotionally vulnerable, and I guess, if I was working on someone else, it'd be kind of a spoiler, considering the references I need to actually draw them. So, yeah. I guess I could do this as like a mirror, right? No, not subdivide. That's my bad. Yeah, you know, situations. It's weirdly hard to make friends with, like, VTubers, you know? It's a lot harder than you'd think. Because, you know, the intuitive way that you'd, like, oh, this is probably how I'd make friends with them, would be, like, to visit their streams, understand who they are, interact with them and then say, hey, I want to be friends. But the issue with that is that you start becoming treated as a viewer. And that's a lot, like, unironically, you become viewer zoned. Kind of like if you were talking to, like, someone, and then it's like you become, like, their friend. It's like, oh, I only see you as a friend kind of situation. It's like, oh, friend zoned. Even though I don't personally like the idea of, like, the friend zone, I understand why people come to the conclusion of that, because, hey, I want to, I want, I partially romantically have the, like them. And then they want to, like, oh, before we even, like, I even consider, like, asking them out, I got to know them emotionally. And then from the girl's perspective, it's like, oh, they're just friends. I don't want to date them. Which, it's a conundrum. I'm not 100% sure how to even answer that properly. I don't know. I tried streaming as soon as I can, but sometimes you just, wait, I gotta log in. Apparently my restream got it didn't log in when I started streaming, huh? Okay. Give me a moment. I gotta log in. Or I gotta open up the dash page from somewhere else. But yeah, no, mostly just, like, accidentally. Oh, I got some vodka at some point. It's like, oh, I guess I'll drink it. I mean, the thing I was talking about happened only, like, fairly recently, like, only a couple days ago, which is why it took longer than 4 days for me to stream. Get hurt very emotionally. It's like, I really don't want to stream right now. Oh, whoops. That's not supposed to be like that. It's also not registering me where I'm supposed to, so I guess I'll have to do it on the web page. Okay, how loud's the music? Oh, it's a little bit louder than I expected, but it's fine. Oh, you know what? Checking. I should check that out, actually. I might have accidentally did it wrong. If restream's, like, bugging up. Okay, let's see here. No, it's still fine. I drink some water, it's not healthy to not drink water. Oh, someone else just started streaming. That's nice. Oh, whoops, my bad. Alright, just give me a second. Alright, there we go. So, go through my own problems. You know how it be. Kind of funny how one of them, the one I kind of expected, I only messaged them because I want to, like, I was wondering, oh, probably should give them closure because maybe they wouldn't have realized, like, exactly how I felt, but they were extremely callous to, like, how I felt. So I was that was caught off guard with that. But I've already come to terms with that, like, like a year ago. So I already knew that was their aunt. Like, I knew they weren't gonna have the exact same idea as I did, but I was just more surprised by how callous they were towards it. But if it's like that, then it's like that. Other than that, I haven't really done anything off stream. Oh, I guess off stream, at my local liquidation center, as I call it. Uh, it took it took like it was like 2 months worth of luck procs, but I finally did get me some ABS plastic for my 3D printer. Like I went, you know, typically I'm very like lucky in manifesting stuff I want from these places. There's always like, oh, I kind of want this, and it shows up like fairly soon after I decide, oh, I kind of want that. And I was kind of right in a way. Oh, I'm yawning. That I went. I was like, oh, I should get some AS this like filament called ASA. It's kind of like the filament I was talking about, ABS, but it's more UV resistant overall, and it's technically a better material. It's a better material like as an overall, but you don't technically need ABS to make like certain figures because you're not gonna put them out in the sun to get sun bleached or like hit with UV to get degraded. So I was like, oh, I'll hope for some ASA because my I was considering I modded my 3D printer to have a new nozzle, not a new nozzle, like a fan thing, so that it can what was it? It can like cool down the parts more efficiently. But what I did that, manifesting the ASA, it did show up like pretty soon after. But the unfortunately, it was a 3 millimeter filament, which I'm not exactly sure why they don't do 3. Why that's not like more common. Like if you do 3D printers, nearly all of them are 1.75, okay? So nearly 2 millimeters thickness. Like the reason for that is that originally the original creators of like of filament used nylon filament, right? And because of the nylon filament, not okay, the nylon comes from a weed grass trimmer, the grass trimming stuff, and that's 1.75, which is where it comes from. But it's just kind of surprising anyways because oh, they just kind of kept it. Oh, whoops. I'm gonna have to reset a few times. Yeah, I must have used the wrong one, huh? All right, they used right, nylon 1.75. I don't actually know why why the 3 millimeter exists, like standard exists, but it's probably got a same story. Oh, something's got like 3 millimeters. You gotta use that. Would you give me a moment? I need to go to the washroom. I might have drank too much water. Because, I'm worried that, I'll explain it later. Whoops, accidentally muted too soon. Let me charge my phone, go to the washroom. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh, my models got like weirdly synced. Oh wait, no, it's fine. Yeah, things happen. I get hit with things I don't actually expect. Sometimes some things I do expect, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. But eh, that I guess that's life, you know. You get hit with things. It how how it affects you is determined by how you are as a person. But it does put in some questions like, hmm, am am I addictive by nature emotionally, right? Because I do wonder. That is something I do consider like question about, right? Because it's a situation where it's like, well, am I an alcoholic by nature because I'm tempted to use it because I know it's a way to numb how I'm feeling, so I can just sleep it off? Because I know the best solution to like these situations is to sleep off the pain, right? Because you sleep it off and all of a sudden a lot of the pain just like really downs like goes down because you get to like have an emotional reset, and by that point you can finally like look at yourself more objectively in a way that's like it doesn't hurt you. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, right? It always hurts. It's just the way you react to it is what determines who you are. Oh yeah, I gotta make the wheel. I do think I might have like overdone like some stuff like, oh, okay, I shrink his head down. I think that's a lot more in line with like what I'm doing. I noticed that in my friend's original oh wow, what's my head doing? In my friend's original design that he's like these are gears and stuff. I didn't realize that until like when I was finally deciding to build his model. That's that's what it was. So I should start working on that. Oh, yeah, even in this VTuber career, I'm not much of a social person, so like I have a hard time making friends. But I also it's like it's very odd. Like how do exactly do you become friends with a VTuber, right? Cuz like you talk to them, right? You try talking to them and their base assumptions like, "Oh, you're a fan, right? You're a viewer who watches them." It's like how exactly do you even I'm trying to figure out exactly how to explain it. So you want to be friends with a VTuber, right? So you try talking to them. But the thing is, if you just try talking to them, they'll think of you as more of like a viewer than they do as like a actual friend, if you get what I mean. So you talk to them, it's like, oh, this is just a viewer messaging me because I don't know, maybe they're a fan or something. Maybe they actually do want I don't know something. Hmm? Oh, it's not actually like a thing, huh? Last time I used circle as like a curve. It actually showed up as a mesh. I'm a little surprised. Okay, that's a little surprising. Let me go do that again, actually, but with a cylinder. Maybe at some point I should fix my VTuber models like settings so that I don't like bob up and down so much. But today's not that day. But yeah, as I was saying with the whole trying to be friends with a VTuber, like typically the idea of like how to become friends is through a common idea, right? Oh, hey, we have common traits. You know, we talk, and it's like, hey, we're pretty similar in a way. We're similar in a way. Hey, maybe we should hang out some more. But like, how exactly do you even talk to some? Because first of all, you're already at the disadvantage because they possibly think you're a viewer. You know, say, hey, you're a viewer. I should not be connecting to you as much. It's like that's strike one. Then strike two happens when what's it? What was strike two again? I'm a little like off. So, forgive me if I'm like not exactly thinking straight. Oh yeah, the other thing about trying to becoming friends with a VTuber is that because of the long response times, it feels weird to talk to them, right? If you've ever tried talking to a VTuber, you would understand that like it almost feels like I've talked to someone about this before, how it feels like it's a almost like a business inquiry. Like you send a message to like some tech support where it's like, excuse me, I would like to be friends with you. I am this. I am also a VTuber of this. I think we could be friends. It's like, but that's weird. It's very, which is like falls into the, oh, it's very hard to be friends with like these people. I guess I'm a little bit weird because I'm like open to the idea of like, whatever, I don't really care if like people want to be friends. Like I can acknowledge, um, there have been people who are like fairly like who show up here fairly common depending on what time I actually show up to like stream and the time zone they're at. So I don't know if I acknowledge him as a friend, but I do respect him in a way that's like, oh, more than how most VTubers regard their fans, I guess. Because I understand how it feels, like especially now because I was hit with like I was hit with back to back with two different people who are completely separate with a, oh, we aren't friends. I was like, oh, because one of them, I always talk to them. It's like, oh, I'm a little disappointed that you only saw that the way you acknowledged me was as like as only a viewer and not as a friend, and they had to like explain to me like, no, we aren't friends. I'm like, damn, man. While the other one is like, oh, I mean, I kind of knew in my heart already that we because of like certain because of the way certain things like transpired, we really couldn't have been friends in the end. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It very much hurt because it was someone who, from my perspective, I cared about a lot. Like I was even like willing to forgive them for like a lot of things they've done, but they never gave me the same courtesy. So I was like, okay. Okay, I guess from here we gotta start working on like, oh wait, no, I gotta make his tires. Like in my nearly 3 years of VTubing, I think it's been like 3 years. It might have been four. I'm not actually 100% sure. But I've only recently actually made people who I've actually considered like, hey, you know what? I guess I would trust you with my address type of friend. there are people who I want to like genuinely help. It's like, hey, you know what? Even with caution, I would give you my address just because I know I've read your you've talked about your situation and I sympathize with you and I want to help you. But, they don't give me the same amount of trust back. And it's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Whatever. But it's not as if I don't blame them for not trusting some random someone on the internet for this stuff. Like, I just want to help, but sometimes I'm just not the right person to help. Like there was this person who was like, "Oh, vegetables, fruits and vegetables where I am are very expensive." So I was like, "Oh, on my adventures to the local liquidation store, I saw like a hydroponic system, a hydroponic system. So that comes with seeds, so you can go and grow your own food." So I go and message them. It's like, "Oh, I'm willing to actually pay for it. Like, I pay for the full brunt of the actual hydroponic system. Like, I got it for a very good deal." And it's like, hey, if you just pay for the shipping, I'll give it to you. No questions asked. No ties. No anything. But they never really trusted me enough to like actually do that. Which, in a way, I do find that's fair. I am still technically a stranger to them, and I guess they can't trust my sympathy like or empathy to being actually like a good trustworthy person. It's like, yeah, that's unfortunate. You can't exactly make someone trust you, and you can't exactly do that. You know, but that's life. You can't trust that people can't trust enough people, and then at the same time, you're kind of forced to trust people in some certain situations. I only just wish that like people could be better, things could be better, but I'm just not afforded that luxury. Hmm. I guess this could be good enough. I guess there's also people who just don't like use my kind like what I'm willing to do to like help people to their full advantage. Like there have been people who show up it's like, hey, hey, can I message you? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like you can message me all you want. Just message me through these means, and they just never do. Or if the bad part on me is like if I don't actually realize that they actually message me that way, like there have been people who've tried to message me on Twitter and I don't realize that they messaged me until like significantly later. I'm like, oh my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize because it doesn't give me a notification. I usually tell them, hey, email me through this thing because I'll as soon as you send the email, I'll see it. Oh, I should change the song now. I don't know how long this has been playing, but it's probably been a while. Hmm. Someone's starting to stream soon. Yeah, no, it does hurt a lot because I try to be genuine about my like what I do, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work out. Like, hey, oh, we were never friends to begin with. I'm like, damn, oh, okay. Because it's hard to be friends with people on because it takes like, oh, I did I ever finish? Did I finish that thought? It feels like you're sending a business inquiry because mostly when you're sending a message to someone, it's always like takes an hour. It takes not an hour. It takes just several days for someone to respond to like your messages. And even it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your message." I'm like, "Can I even believe you? Can I believe that you actually didn't see my message considering, you know, you're on whatever, you've been on whatever." It's like, I mean, it's not like as if like I'm messaging you and it wouldn't tell you that I'm here, right? So it's like, oh, on a certain point, it's like if you say like, oh, I did see your message, but the thing is that like I was trying to figure out exactly how to respond to it. I'm like, yeah, I can get that, but sometimes it's like it's kind of like the argument that people talk about with how smartphones are. It's like you have a device that gives you access to be able to talk to anyone anywhere in the world at any point, and yet you still don't respond to me. You know? Okay, from what it seems, this feels like a bunch of like tubes working together. Hmm. It was nothing important. Yeah, but just having a bit of like some emotional gripes just kind of hurt. It hurts sometimes, but I guess that's what it takes to be like trying to make friends, right? Try to make friends, it doesn't work out as well as you'd hoped, and then it's like, well, that's part of the game, huh? You should. I'll probably just use this. You hope the people that you talk to actually care about you in the same way that you do, but it turns out they don't actually. Like, I can understand the, streamer viewer separation that's required to actually, like, do this properly, because, you can't be friends with everyone, but on a certain level, I still want to, like, respect you as a person, but some people don't give the same courtesy. You know, you open your heart out to someone, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I never felt about that way to you. It's like, oh, I can understand that, but then you get hit with a double whammy of oh, I never felt that way about you, ever. It's like, oh, it's like I've always seen you as like a stranger, and I would not be willing to even consider you as a friend. It's like, oh, okay, well, damn. Oh wow, streaming for 40 minutes, huh? Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, from these, I think I'll how it's designed. It was originally drawn is like the idea of like ball joints that like connect into it. So I think I'll just stick with that, right? Yeah, let me pull up a different song. There was this, I got him. I was going through a bunch of like different like Fantasy Star songs. I'm like, oh, this one's not bad. Even though it doesn't match the energy I have right now, it's like, eh. I thought the song was nice. I don't know. I didn't really hear it that much. That's about right. Actually, not really, because it's supposed to be like that. I think typical hands like are like this, at least for like men. With women's, it's funny. So the way I think how hands are supposed to be formed is like with men, your ring finger is supposed to be longer than like your index, pinky, and like thumb, and with women, your index and ring finger are supposed to be like similar in height. But for me, my hands are a little bit different, where my index finger is like longer than my middle ring finger, but shorter than my middle finger. So if you ever looked at my VTuber model, it's like, hey, his hands are a little bit off. That's why, because it's based off of my hand. It's like different from other people's hands, supposedly. Yeah, his hands are supposed to be like kind of like this shape, I think. Like if you look at it like that. There's supposed to be a few ridges though, so I'll get to it. I am getting kind of tired, but this stream is mostly like was like a venting stream. Like, oh yeah, this is kind of what I was go the little issues I'm going through right now, and just screaming into the void because I know the people because they don't care about me that much that I know they aren't looking at my stream, so I can complain all I want. Maybe I'll go to sleep after this. I'm a little tired. Talking for so much does make give me a little like, ooh, I'm tired feeling. And then for some reason the thumb is like in a different spot. You know, looking at this, it seems that my fingers are way wider than it, way longer than they should be. Like this should be wider. All right, there we go. Yeah, but getting emotionally crushed like that, you know, it hurt. It does hurt. You know, am I? Do I have a problem? Not 100% sure. Like, I don't really do stuff like this that often. But it's like, man, sometimes I just gotta sleep it off a couple days. These issues. Yeah, no, this stream feels less like, oh, it's for like entertaining people. It's more like it's a me thing. Like, oh, these are my issues these days. Uh, I'm not beholden to any company or anything, so I can do whatever I want. Yeah, I'm beholden to nobody, even if it's super self-destructive. You know, I was planning on playing Elden Ring with my friend, but he ended up getting food poisoning, so I'm like, ah, that's unfortunate. But it kind of gave me more time to like experiment with other things, like how I'm gonna play the game with him. I wonder if having it like this is actually like how that is. Oh, we never saw his like feet, so I gotta figure out how like I'm probably gonna actually put some a set of wheels down there, like almost like here, you know? Like he could run, but he could also just like pop the wheels down a bit more and then start driving. But you know, there's definitely got to be like a ball joint or something here. Yeah, something about right here. Hmm? Nothing important. Okay. I was like, oh, if someone's like, oh, can you drive me somewhere? I'm like, oh, sorry, can't. Kinda doing something right here. Okay, what else do I need to do? All I gotta do is like neck thing. I already have one set of like neck thing he has, but like it's another neck thing. YouTube asking, oh, it's because I didn't. It's not part of like the soundtrack, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me just pull a playlist. Not that one. Just pick a Yeah, this song kind of feels exactly how I'm feeling right now. Partially doomer. So yeah, yep, that's me. Does this stuff ever go away? Not exactly. In a way, it does, but not in the way you'd hope. I know this feeling subsides after a while. I do know it. It does get better after a while, but that doesn't really mean that doesn't hurt right now. It doesn't mean you don't have to wish the feelings to go away or wish what you've cared about to actually care about you in the same way you cared about it. Hmm. You do it like this kind of does mess up the joints because you can see that it's not as rounded anymore. So I guess I have to like put a yeah, put it like that so it starts rounding out. Oh, I should probably do it in faces instead. All right. It's kind of funny how the game that the song comes from, Ultimate Tenkaichi, Dragon Ball Z: The Ultimate Tenkaichi, they basically did like everything right except for the gameplay of the game. Like this music is so good. It's like it has no right to be this good for like a recap music, you know? Like it's good enough that I want to use it in my own stuff. And yeah, I mean I am going to use it in my own stuff. It's just like it's stuff you'll not see for a while I'm still working on it. Right, there we go, the metal bars. Oh, I've already streamed for like 55 minutes. I might actually end the stream now because I'm really tired for some. Okay, not for some reason. Y'all know why I'm tired, but I am still tired. That isn't really just because y'all know why I'm tired doesn't change the fact that I'm tired. You know, should probably lay down, go sleep it off, sleep this off, may do something else. Yeah, we worked on the arms. We it hit like the internal engine is a little bit simple. I might actually redesign to make it more complicated, but I think we did pretty okay. I mean, maybe not okay for like the fact that it took an hour to do this, but eh, I think we'll call it in for today. I'll probably stream again like pretty soon. There shouldn't be a reason why I won't. So I think we'll call it in for today. You know, it was like a quick like, hey, I didn't die. I am emotionally devastated to the fact that I'm like, oh damn, I'm feeling like I should, but like, yeah, I'm not going to. So yeah, we're gonna be calling it in for today. So yeah, thank you for watching. There was someone on YouTube. So yeah, thank you. And there was someone on Twitch. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with me being all funny. I'm extra funny today. You know, thank you for that, and I'll see you guys next time I stream. I'll probably feel significantly better. I'll probably get over whatever I'm doing right now. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.